What's going on? It's Chris, the Dating Doc, and I'm gonna drop some game that women and men need to hear out, because here's the deal now. If you are a young woman, tell me the truth. Do you not get bored easily? If you're on a date and the guy's just lame, he's just basic, he's not making you laugh, he doesn't know how to get your sexual energy going, you're gonna be bored, all right? So fellas, understand that this is the mind frame of a young woman. She's got a lot of options, she's getting a lot of likes, a lot of DMs. You need to be able to entertain her, okay? Don't matter what pill you overdosed on, you need to be able to entertain her. Because she's like human resources. She's looking through all these resumes, at least mentally, and saying, all right, what dude do I want to get with? If you know what I'm talking about, get with all the way, all right? And she's gonna gauge that on certain things. There's a physical attraction part, which is huge for a young woman. Because again, they got their libido going and they get excited by being entertained by a good looking man. That's part of that entertainment. If you can make her laugh in a very masculine way, right? You're not trying too hard. You're not dropping, some like silly impersonation that you got to use a high pitched voice or something. That's part of that attraction. Hey, this guy's making me laugh. He's funny. He sticks in my brain. He leaves an imprint. And at the same time, if you're a young guy, you have a lot of space, a lot of air, you can make a lot of mistakes when it comes to being on your grind, because you're not expected to be on your grind as a young guy, as a guy who's 25, who's maybe 2 or 3 years out of college. You're not expected to be making 6 figures or more, or to have a larger bank account unless daddy gave you some money, or unless you hit it big as an entrepreneur. It's just not happening. It's not the common thing. So there's not this expectation of like, hey, why doesn't he have his own house? And why doesn't he drive a Bugatti, right? They just care about being entertained, okay? And that by hook or crook, don't matter if you mad at woman or not, this is just how it is. As you progress, as a man, you're getting older, now you are expected to be able to be like, all right, let me show me if you can take me to this little steakhouse. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't do that on the first date. That's a whole nother topic, and we're gonna talk about the progression of where to take them on dates. But she wants to see after a while, okay, all right, so I got something I wanna offer him, but let me see what he's all about. This is how they are. Now, the way you can counter that, right? The way you can counter that is you need to make sure that they're on your level now. Because let's say you are the funny guy, you're the fit guy, you're the one who is making people laugh, you're social, you're known in your community, you're doing good in your career. And then all of a sudden, she thinks she's entitled to that steak dinner. Now you have some leverage, especially if you're the one paying for that steak dinner. Like, are you the type that's gonna give me a back rub? Are you the type that's gonna hear me out if I want to talk about my date? Are you the type that's going to give me some variety in that activity, if you know what I mean? If you're not on that tip, just realize I got 5 other women texting me because they know that I'm known in the community. They know that I'm doing well for myself. They know I got the nice ride, but guess what? I'm not worried about using that ride to attract women. I like that ride for me. See, and that's the difference between a young guy getting up in the game versus an older gentleman. And after a while, okay, realize that after a certain age, women are really gonna come knocking. They're gonna come knocking, and they know the reality. They know, hey, this guy's got options, right? That's the tier 1 high value man kind of guy. They're gonna be like, this guy's got options. Why am I gonna mess with him? Because I already know he ain't gonna settle down with me, right? I'm the mid 30s, older 30s woman that maybe even has a kid or 2 already. And I'm looking to settle down with the quality guy, but that quality guy has got too many options, right? It's like if I own all of Netflix, right? I'm gonna try to see all the movies I can, okay? Even though she's like, I'm trying to be the only show he watches. No, okay? High value men have these options, so she's gonna go for the tier 2 or tier 3 guy, the guy who's doing okay, right? He looks decent. But on top of that, that tier 2 or tier 3 guy doesn't have as much options. So what is he gonna do? He may settle, and since both sides wanna settle, it works out for them, right? It's like if you're trying to apply for an engineer job and you a paper boy, it's not gonna happen. It's just not. Okay, don't matter how good of a paper boy you think you are or a paper girl, it's not happening. All right. So again, I'm gonna free flow into some game here because woman, some of you in your 20s need to start thinking in a line of urgency. You need to quit being like, oh, I'm good. I got another 10 years on me before I have a kid. Because what ends up happening, you get into this mindset of I got time, and you get obnoxious, and your obnoxious energy becomes a habit. You start turning down guys that you shouldn't have turned down because you're like, okay, whatever. You almost get a high off of turning down guys. You're like, oh, whatever, I ain't worried about him. Oh, this guy's offering me some money, I'll give him some attention. But you ain't even got no pair bonding, you ain't got no real love for the guy that's paying for your dinner. You just want that dinner paid. You just want to be treated. So you take on this weird personality that's really not loving, that the real guys from a mile away can see. And they're like, why am I gonna be with her when she got a rotten attitude? All right, so I'm gonna flip the script here. I'm talking more about woman now. If you're a younger woman, you need to still be loving and sensual and humble. Humble, okay? You can tie in being strong with being humble. You can be independent, have your own opinion, and still be humble. But a lot of you are starting to harden and find permanence into this ugly personality, as if men owe you something and you don't owe them anything back. And I'm not talking about just the physical. Y'all get into this thing where you all think you're queens, when in reality, you're not. In reality, the guy who's being humble and is doing well for himself, he's the king, but he ain't worried about his crown. He already got his crown glued to his head, and you're too worried about turning down men. It's gonna catch up to you because that attitude is gonna become who you are. So then you try to act nice, right? You try to go to church, you try to get all humble, you try to get into your chakras and meditation and try to find yourself again from who you really were and who you were as a beautiful woman. And because the urgencies come up, now you're trying to have a kid, or now you want the Hallmark card, you want the house, you want the beautiful husband so you can take little photos with. But you got this Instagram wannabe model personality. You need to change that. All right. So talk to me. Let me know what you think about this. This was a free game for both sides, for both men and women. Some of you need to start pushing the button of urgency and changing yourselves, because dating nowadays is so disconnected, but it doesn't magically just happen. Okay. I believe combination of social media and the apps have gotten us into this funk. But it takes you, the person, to change it, and we can change it. It's the Dating Doc signing out. Peace.